Good evening, one and all. Welcome you all. Good evening, one and all. Welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025. Commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Arts, Sciences, and Will. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today, we are commemorating Children of Fallen Patriots Day in US, which is observed on May 13th every year. The day aims to honor the pain and sacrifice of children who have lost a parent or to martyrdom. So the objective is to appreciate the young individuals who live tragically altered lives due to parent passing away. In line of duty, Children of Fallen Patriots Day was established by the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation in 2014, an organization that provides financial education and educational counseling to Gold Star scholars who have a martyred parent. May 13th was chosen as Children of Fallen Patriots Day because it was the day the Arlington National Cemetery was established in 1860. Today is also commemorated as Cough Drop Day, which is observed annually on May 13th, in existence since around 1000 BC. Cough drops are small medicated tablets intended to soothe or sore or irritated throat. In the 19th century, in the US, physicians commenced adding questionable ingredients to their cough drops formulas. Thankfully, this was soon phased out. Today, cough drops are often candy-like with a sweet taste derived from the sweetening agents, including in most products. One can even access various recipes from the internet with ingredients from pears to cinnamon and ginger. Originally, most cough drops were shaped like diamonds, as the name Lozoni is derived from the French lozenge, which translates to rhombus. The use of candles to soothe throat irritations is said to have begun as far back as 1000 BC during Egypt's 20th dynasty. At the time, the ancient cough drops were made from honey flavored with herbs, citrus, and spices. In the 19th century, physicians began using morphine, formaldehyde, and heroin, which they discovered could suppress the cough at the source, which is the brain. However, these ingredients were harmful because of the risk that they might lead to dependence, addiction to opiates. In fact, lozenge manufacturers made it a habit to specify that their lozenges were free of opiates. In 1892, a Keating's cough lozenge and included the statement, they are invaluable. They contain no opium nor any violent drug. In 1881, William Loudon made history by creating first menthol cough drops. In 1879, he began as a candy manufacturer, making his products in his family kitchen at the back of his father's jewelry shop in Pennsylvania. Later, he collaborated with the pharmacist to invent a cough drop formula, which they colored amber. So, Luden's menthol cough drops contain honey, licorice, and menthol, and were sold for many years in 5-cent packages. Luden is an example of many cough drop manufacturers that started as candy makers, confectioners, and bakers. Other examples, such as Hall's Menthol, Liptus, and Smith Brothers cough drops, and Ricola, Vicks, are so on. Follow. Day is also commemorated as Fair Trade Day on May 13th. Will honor the movement for a month for a world in which all laborers are paid more fairly for the work they do and the products they create. Fair trade aims to create a more equal and positive working situation for laborers around the world, many laborers producing some of the world's most lucrative products like coffee, clothing, and chocolate are living in poverty and collecting painful low wages. Fair trade aims to change this. The movement is an actionable step towards reducing poverty, mistreatment of workers, climate issues, and economic constraints around the world. The World Fair Trade Organization, WFTO, created the holiday in 2004 and declared that it would be celebrated on the second Saturday of each May. The holiday consists of worldwide festivals and other events that celebrate the importance of fair trade and encourage others to join the fight. Today is also commemorated as IEEE Global Engineering. In US, IEEE Global Engineering Day, celebrated on May 13th annually, is all about recognizing achievements of engineers and their work that has impact on society. Discussing engineering advances or showcasing the work of engineers are excellent ways to identify the enormous impact that engineering had on the daily lives. Next time you walk down the street, find yourself in an office building or driver over a bridge, marvel at the incredible skill and intellect that went into creating what you observe and utilize every day. Every year in May, we celebrate IEEE Global Engineering Day to honor the profession and field to study that was always pushed humanity's known limits to a little further. It also emphasizes the need for governments to have a strong mandate to promote science and technology and various branches of engineering as competitive and fulfilling career paths. In the face of global decrease in students entering engineering, computing, and technology fields, the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, SINC, IEEE, the world's largest organization of technical professionals, with over 350,000 members in 160 countries, emphasizes the need to encourage more students and young professionals to pursue a career in this field. The IEEE Foundation was founded in 1973, is governed by the laws of the state, New York, to further IEEE scientific and educational goals. A board of 13 members leads the foundation with diverse technical, geographical, and professional backgrounds, and a staff of 10 people runs it. IEEE Global Engineering Day was created to unite international community in celebrating engineers, the future of engineering. It's about recognizing their achievements at work. The aim is to introduce students to the world of engineering through games, projects, and activities. And major cities are home to the world's tallest skyscrapers, a complex network of pulsing highways, subways, skyways, and cutting edge airports and seaports. Cars can drive themselves, and drones can photograph weddings. Engineers and other men of science are responsible for everything from the massive infrastructure that shape landscapes to the mobile apps at our fingertips. There is also commemorated as International Hummus Day in US to celebrate intoxicantly delicious concoction of garbanzo beans, tahini, lemon juice, and garlic, otherwise known as hummus. From whipping up a batch of your own custom flavored red pepper hummus to spreading some store bought desert hummus on a cookie, there are endless ways to celebrate. We hear that there are even some magical thing called a hummus festival. We are not missing that hummus has been around for centuries and remains one of the most versatile and healthy staples in many diets. Today we celebrate hummus for all that provides our diet and culture, as well as how we all can agree. It's nature's perfect food. So the origin of hummus is cloudy and hotly contested. Though we know it's originated in the Middle East, many regions around the eastern crescent of the Mediterranean claim to be one true originator of the delectable spread. The first real mention of the hummus in the cookbook was found in 13th century Cairo, where it appears as merely a cold chickpea puree and notable lacks lemon juice and garlic, including instead picked lemons with oils, herbs, and spices. It still sounds pretty good to us. Hummus remained a huge staple in the diet of many lives in the Middle East, where chickpeas flourish. In fact, the word hummus is rooted in the Arabic word for chickpea, though there is some debate over whether or not the Greeks also invested hummus. Most believe that it spread from Greek and Middle Eastern traders, along with popular delicacies like baklava and stuffed grapes. It's known for the reason as one of the greatest crossover foods. Today is also commemorated as National Apple Pie Day in US. Apple pie has been around since the Middle Ages. A Dutch book dated 1514 lists a recipe for apple Latin It is also called for a standard pie crust, slices of soft seedless apples, and a few tasty species, especially cardamom, ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, mace, and sugar, and all cooked up in tradition. Dutch oven, the English also had their version of apple pie, which dates back to time of Chaucer. The English version also suggests adding figs, raisins, and pears to the apple and spice mixture. In Sweden, apple crumble was a gold standard. Traditional Swedish apple crumble requires breadcrumbs or rolled oats instead of pastry and is served up with custard or ice cream. In France, apple pie is served upside down as starchy tart. Today is also commemorated as National Crouton Day. Sprinkle some tasty bits of bread onto your plate and sit down for a fun National Crouton Day celebration every year on May 13th. You can fry them, bake them, or infuse them with flavors from around the world. This versatile food is simply the topping on your food, but what a delicious one, packed with flavor and crunch. Croutons are faithful, ever present, and absolutely loved. The versatile crouton to use up their stale bread. The stale bread has been used in dishes, mostly soups, since medieval times. Sir Cowton was served soup and bread together. In his haste to eat, he accidentally dropped several pieces of bread into his soup and could not fish them out as the king was watching. At a loss, he simply stuffed everything into his mouth, bread, soup, and all. And thankfully, this tasted delicious. And Sir Croughton decided this dish needed a new name, and realizing that no such name existed, honored this dish with his own. So, family-owned American company Rothbury Farms decided to host a special day to celebrate this humble bread dish. They found this day in 2015, and America has been celebrating this crunchy, complimentary food ever since. Today is also commemorated as National Frog Jumping Day in US. Its origins came from Mark Twain's first published short story about a begging man and his pet frog. Approximately 7,300 species of frogs around the world, and the most colorful ones are the most poisonous. So, National Frog Jumping Day is an important because it brings literature to life as well as bring awareness to different kinds of frogs and their impact with our ecosystem. Today is also commemorated as National Fruit Cocktail Day in US. The term fruit cocktail conjures up childhood memories of finding a sweet surprise at the bottom of your sack lunch. But there's so much more to this spring and summer food favorite, from its origins as a heavy, purely unwholesome aperitif of the American South to the trendy summer salads we use today. This confectionery concoction has rightly earned a day celebration. Mark your calendars for 13th and join us for National Fruit Cocktail Day. Today is also commemorated as National Leprechaun Day. It is dedicated to celebrating leprechauns, supernatural beings in Irish folklore. The legend of leprechauns can be traced back to the 18th century when lore began to spread among the Celts. Whether or not you believe they exist, today is a good day to let your imagination run loose. The origin of National Leprechaun Day is unknown. It is believed a leprechaun is also believed to possess a pot of gold which can be found at the end of the rainbow. However, there are solitary creatures who spend their time coupling shoes, playing pranks, and dancing the jig. In the past, leprechauns were believed to wear red clothing. This all changed when poet William Alling wrote a poem about leprechaun dressed in green, and they are believed to carry around a tiny hammer for shoemaking, the sound of which can be heard tipping nails into a shoe. Today is also commemorated as Sex Differences in Health Awareness Day in US on Tuesday of National Women's Health Week. This year it falls on May 13th. This day was set aside to remind the public and medical professionals about the different health issues that affect men and women differently and to spread awareness and education about it. For example, cancers like ovarian and cervical only affect women. Likewise, testicular cancer only affects men, and other diseases and health conditions like autoimmune disease affect both sexes differently, and the day seeks to highlight this. This day should be observed by not just those in medical profession, but also general public to have a world in healthier life. Today is also commemorated as Top Gun Day in US, which is a special day to celebrate, honor, remember, and enjoy the iconic movie, which was released in 1986. As it broke all the previous records and became the highest grossing movie at the time, making a whooping $356 million worldwide. So finally, today we are celebrating Tulip Day in US. It is a day dedicated to celebrate tulips, which are brightly colored spring blooming flowers originated in Central Asia, where they grew wild through cultivation of the flower began in Turkey around 1080. From then on, they became highly prized in Ottoman Empire, such that they were specially cultivated for the pleasure of the Sultan. The flower sojourn to Europe took place in 16th century when they were planted in the Netherlands for medicinal purposes. Today, tulips are still heavily associated with the European country. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form, which is being shared in the form of votes. So see you all tomorrow at the same time with the same joining link with different commemorations. Take care. Good night.